Hey, hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to kind of walk us through our America Learns website that we use. We're going to, talk about the purpose of it, but it's always better to kind of have a visual when we are starting and using a new system. Just to give some background information, America Learns is the website that we use for members to complete their timesheets. So each timesheet, except for this first one, is for 2 weeks. So let's get started. I forgot to mention, we also use America Learns to update we have our members update their information regarding like their address, their email address, their phone number, their t-shirt size and things like that. It's an easy way for us to kind of know your all's information as things change in a secure way. We also use this website to upload performance measure reporting throughout your year of service. That will be a separate video, but we will kind of just go over the, area on this website that you would go to when you start the performance measure process. But again, that will be a separate video with lots of detail to help you report on that and the clients that you're serving. So I'll get started by saying when you are on your, service computer, this is the website that you go to. So you're going to type in americalearns.net/homes for all / You're going to hit enter and it refreshed and uploaded us to our page. So this is the home page for our program and the program that you're serving in. As you can see, we have our AmeriCorps logo and we have our program calendar. So if you are serving in our Homes for All Vista program, you're going to see things that say Vista. If you are serving in our AmeriCorps direct service program, you're going to see AmeriCorps. So if there are things that say both programs, so right now in the month of August, I almost said April, I'm so sorry. There would say both programs, and that would be for both programs to pay attention to. That date would be. We are very glad that we were able to connect our Google Calendar, our Google Program Calendar, so that this is just another way for us to make sure that you serving in our program have this information up front. You'll be able to see it every month, every week that you log into your America Learns account. So I'm going to be logging into a test member account so that we can just kind of walk through what your account will look like, because I have some more options to choose from as an administrator. But I'm going to log in. You know, if you're logging in every time on your service computer, you may save your password and things like that. So I'm just going to log in. Once you log in, it's going to take you to your dashboard. So the first thing that we'll talk about before we get into timesheets is we ask that all of our members go over here to this bottom tab that says View and Update My Profile. So I'm going to click it. And this is going to pop up. Under Name and Contact Details, you're going to go over here and click Edit. It's going to pop up a new little box. If you feel like your name needs to be changed, if you go by a different name, if you change your email to A site-specific email that your, the site that you're serving at, created an email address to you and you would like timesheet reminders or anything like that, or any messages from AmeriCorps to go to that email, you can update it. Right now, it may be a personal email, and I guess that's probably just a preference. If you want to continue using your personal email, you can leave it at that. We ask that you update your mobile device carrier and update your phone number that you use. There should be no symbols or spaces, so just that 10-digit number. If you need to reset your password, you're going to reset it there. I'm just going to click close without changes because I'm not updating anything. Next, we ask that you go here to this section where it says member information and click edit. We ask that you fill in this information. Please update, the address, the mailing address that you prefer things to be mailed to. We ask that you update your sweatshirt size and the pronouns that you use. Any type of accommodations that you may have during your year of service, please let us know. Update your birthday so that we can give you a little birthday shout out, send you a birthday card, update your t-shirt size, and then whatever your veteran status is. Again, I'm going to click close because I'm not updating anything at this time. The next few boxes, this one will show your service site assignments. So for example, this one is a test site. But if you're serving at Arbor Youth Services, your site would show there. There should only be one service site in your service site assignment. So if that is not the case, please reach out to me. It's going to show you your, reporting form completion rate. There's some missed ones because this is a test. Then it's going to show you your timesheet settings and what timesheet template you are connected to. We are in the 2021-2022 program year. This member is a test member for our AmeriCorps state program or direct service program. If you're a VISTA member, it's going to show up VISTA underneath. You can see your timesheet slot type. So this is a full-time member serving 1,700 hours. And any approved pending hours. But we just really need you to update these two top sections, your name and contact details and your information. You can add a photo if you would like. Now I'm going to go back. It's going to take us back to our dashboard. Let's see, we're going to click my timesheets and it's going to refresh and take us back here. So in the middle of the page, you can see where you are at when it comes to your timesheet and what timesheet period you are in. So it looks a little bare right now because we are at the beginning of our program year. This will definitely fill up as your year of service goes on and you submit more timesheets to be approved. So this box under where it says where you are, it's going to tell you, the remaining hours and weeks that you have during your service year. So at this time, we are at the beginning of the service year. We're at this is a 1,700 hour position, and we have 52 weeks to complete that 1,700 hour requirement. Below, you will see the average number of weekly hours needed for the education award eligibility. So right now it says 32.7 in your member service agreement and on your position description and in the agreement that you make with your supervisor regarding your schedule, you should be serving at least 37.5 hours or 37.5 hours each week to stay on top of that hourly, the hour requirement for the year. Again, this will fluctuate. So if you use a personal day or a sick day, that is just a day off from service. It's not like 7.5 hours or 7.5 hours go to your hour requirement. If it's, if you observe a federal holiday or something like that, you would also, it would also fluctuate in that time period because, again, it's not, hours that go towards service. It's just a day off. So it will fluctuate. We just ask that your average weekly time stays between 37.5 to 40 hours. If it gets, to 40 hours a week or more, we're all gonna be talking about that because we want the person to have a successful year of service and not trying to serve, loads of hours. Next, you'll see the box that says approved hours and some subcategories. As we go into the timesheet, we will go into more detail about these subcategories. But when your hours are approved by your supervisor and by Homes for All staff, those hours will go here, and then they're going to break down, what hours or where you are allocating your hours to. So this will change as the year goes on. Next, you'll see this pending hours. Right now, it says 0, but when you complete your timesheet to be approved by your site supervisor and then Homes for All staff, it's going to stay pending until it is approved by your supervisor and also Homes for All staff. So until we take a look at it, it'll stay in pending, and then it will move to approved hours once it is completely approved. And the reason why Homes for All staff approves your time as well is because we need to stay on, on top of that and make sure that we are in the loop with where everyone is at, because we want you guys to have a successful year of service. So we look at timesheets as well. Next, you'll see view submitted sheets. So when your timesheet period is still pending review, it will stay here. And then when it's approved, it will go and move up to the approved timesheet category. When or if you would like to review timesheets that have been approved and you just kind of want to go back through and look through your timesheets for whatever reason, you'll have a little blue hyperlink down here and you can review that. Underneath submit timesheets, you're going to have the current timesheet period. If you have previous timesheet periods that need to be submitted, it's going to show up there as well. We need to be submitting timesheets on a biweekly basis so that we know that you served during that period to have received the living allowance. So please keep that in mind. If you were to fall behind on getting your timesheets submitted, we're going to reach out to you with reminders. Next, you'll see edit and resubmit timesheets. So in this, if you were to have a timesheet pinned back to you by your site supervisor or by Homes for All staff, that's where it's going to pop up. So it would be a blue hyperlink as well for that timesheet period. So some examples of things that may after your site supervisor reviews your timesheet, they're looking at it, maybe you forgot to add an hour of orientation training that you completed that day. Your site will make a little note, or your supervisor will make a little note and say, hey, you forgot an hour on this date. I'm sending your timesheet back to you, make the corrections. And so then once it has been returned to you, it will show up underneath here. So that's that little explanation. Um, when you, okay, I'm not going to say when we are going into the current timesheet period, and now we're going to look at how to complete your timesheets throughout your year. I'm going to move this over here so we can start by step one. Never mind. Okay. So I've already kind of pre-filled out this week, and that's okay. Just for time, I just went ahead and did that before recording. When you log in, underneath available, it will say your service site. You're just going to click this arrow and move it over to selected. So the example I used earlier was Arbor Youth Services. So you would move Arbor Youth Services, and then there would be a little box that says update to all days, because you only are serving at your site. On Monday, I served, I'm sorry, excuse me, on Sunday, I served on August 1st. My schedule, my typical service schedule is from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So that would be my time in and my time out. If yours is 8 to 5, whatever your agreed schedule is, would be typically that time. Again, service varies. There may be days, or emergencies happen with clients, so that time can change. It's your responsibility to keep up with that. Next, you'll see the service category, and under that, there are subcategories for members to allocate their time to. Housing services, if you are a housing services member, so you're completing case management, intakes, assessments, rent and utility assistance, if you are processing a loan application, financial literacy. Those are just some examples of housing services. If that relates to you and your position, you'll know what position you are in based on your position description. So if you are that type, as your year goes on, a lot of or most of your time will be allocated to that subcategory. If you're a construction member, so you are doing repairs on homes, or you are doing or you are part of the mutual self-help program, and you're working with those clients on, building their houses, your time is going to be allocated there the majority of your service term. So those are two the main service categories when it comes to your time. If you're working with volunteers some throughout your day of service, you're going to allocate that time there. Capacity building activities, please reach out to us if you are completing any capacity building activities. It needs to be on your position description, and it can only be up to 50% of your time. Again, reach out to us about that. Teleservice, we are still in the middle of a pandemic. So if you are serving, and we've been talking to you and your supervisor about serving from home or off-site because of the pandemic, you would log your hours there, even if they are specific to housing services, because you are not on site and you're serving from home, that time would go there. If you are serving from home or off-site and it's not related to COVID, again, we're going to be talking about your specific situation, and that time would be allocated to that category. Next up is training. There are some subcategories as well under this AmeriCorps training. So when we are completing our live orientation training with you, or our monthly training throughout the year, that time will be allocated to that category. If you, when you participate in Serve Kentucky's AmeriCorps launch training in October, you would log that time there. So if we are pulling you away from your site, or if you are doing, AmeriCorps specific trainings, you're going to log your time there. Same for site specific training. It's required that your site provide an orientation training to you regarding your service and your position. So, for that orientation training, throughout your first month of service or whatever that may look like, you're going to allocate that time there. If your site were to send you to a training, so like if you were to participate in a NeighborWorks training, that time will be allocated to that subcategory. The next one is training modules based on COVID-19. We were able to develop some training modules for people who are maybe they have to quarantine because they've been exposed to COVID or something like that, and they still want to serve if they are able to, and just kind of log some hours during that time. We'll be, communicating, and those module hours would be logged there. Again, that would be a one-on-one conversation with the member, me and Caitlin, and also your site supervisor. Fundraising. Let's just say, I'm just going to add a time there because this box will come down. Caitlin must pre-approve any fundraising activities. So again, or not again, we're telling you, you will hear about this depending on if you watch this before our orientation or after. Our office has to pre-approve fundraising activities. There are specific AmeriCorps protocols and policies regarding fundraising, so you cannot log hours underneath this category unless we have confirmed it or Caitlin has confirmed it. We'll talk about that. I just wanted to bring that little box down for you so you can see it. So I've already put in my hours for the day. I completed just normal housing services for 4 hours, and then I completed 4 hours of AmeriCorps training. So you will see that I did not receive credit for 30 minutes or 0.5 hours. And that's because I took a 30-minute lunch break. Lunch breaks do not count toward service. Breaks do not count toward service if you were to take a 15-minute break. We do recommend you take a break or lunch, step away from your workspace. If your site offers like a break room or kitchen, or anything like that, picnic table, get some fresh air, whatever it may be. Take that time just so you are able to regroup and complete and finish whatever comes next in the next part of your service day. It helps with burnout, and so we really do recommend taking that break or lunch. Next, you'll see for this day that I received credit for 8 hours. I've saved it. When you click save, you have 2 options. For the purpose of this video, I'm clicking option 1, save and continue completing your timesheet now. This would also be the option that you choose if you had waited, or if you wait until the end of your timesheet period to submit your time or to fill out your timesheet. Option 2, it says save and continue completing save and continue completing your timesheet later. So this is the option if you are to log into your America Learns account and fill out your timesheet daily, you would choose this option. We do recommend option 2 so that you're not having to remember all the hours that you serve for, 2 weeks, because you may have errors. It's pretty easy to do that. But for the purpose of this video, I am choosing option 1 so that we can move on. Okay. I have went ahead and filled out the next day that I served, which was Monday, August 2nd. You'll see I came in at 8 a.m. and I will be leaving at 4:30, or I left at 4:30. This day, I did 4 hours of my typical service activities, and then I participated or completed in 4 hours of site-specific training. I took a 30-minute lunch, and I'm receiving credit for 8 hours. I click save. It's going to bring up the same options. August 3rd, it's the same schedule, 8 a.m., 4:30 p.m., allocating 4 hours to housing services, 4 hours to site-specific training, took a 30-minute lunch, receiving credit for 8 hours. For Wednesday, I served again from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And all of my time for this day was allocated to housing services. And I took a 30-minute lunch. The next thing I want to show you is, so I've come in and I'm, logging my time. America Learns does have this option. So when you click copy and paste, it's going to show you what days that you would like. So if you're allocating the same time for multiple days, just for the sake of your time, you do have this option. So which days do you want to copy this information to? For me, I'm copying it for Thursday and Friday, and I'm going to click save and apply. So now you're going to see that on Thursday, the 5th, and Friday, the 6th, that's already completed for me. So if you have days during your week of service that you are doing, or your time needs to be allocated to the same subcategories, you can choose that option and it will, save you some time. For weekends, so based on my schedule, I do not serve on Saturdays or Sunday. So you have this box. So when you do not serve, you're going to check mark it, and then you're going to give us one of these explanations as to why. So COVID-19 site closure, if your site closes down and you are not able to, teleserve, like if that's not an option for you, or if you were to get COVID and, you're not able to serve, nope, I'm backtracking my words. Do not listen to what I just said. I did not mean to say that. If your site closes down and you're not able to teleserve, and we're talking and communicating about options, and if there are no options for you to serve, that's the option you're going to choose. The next is holiday. So those federal holidays that we observe, and you have that holiday. So the next one coming up is Labor Day. you would choose that option. If you are a full-time member, you start your service year with 10 personal days and 10 sick days. If you're a half-time member or a 900-hour member, you start your day with, I'm sorry, not your day, your service term with 5 personal days and 5 sick days. We talk about that during our orientation training and throughout the year. There, it's on your member service agreement as well, but you will see it under this option. So if you're using one of those days, you'll log it. If you have a weather-related closure, so if it's, a winter or inclement weather, so if there's a bad ice storm and you were to lose power, so teleservice isn't an option, you're not able to get to your site or your site closed, you would choose that option. Same for if it was like a flooding situation, anything related to weather and we're talking about what's going on, you're going to choose that option as to why you didn't serve. For me, it's the weekend. I don't serve on the weekend, so that's my explanation. That's why I chose that option. For Sunday, same reason. It's the weekend. I'm going to click it. And as you can see, when you choose one of those options, you do not receive credit for any hours. It's just either a day off, it's the weekend. Please keep that in mind. At the bottom of your timesheet period, it's going to tell you your totals for that period. So it will show you that I logged 36 hours under housing services. If you were to have logged hours under like working with volunteers as well, then it would, add that. So maybe I served, for example, or maybe you served 6 hours with volunteers and 30 hours in housing services, it would look that way. Then under training, I completed a total of 12 hours. 4 of those hours was AmeriCorps training, and 8 of those hours was site specific. And then you're going to see your total time to receive credit. Next, you'll see electronically sign and submit. Right now, my sheet or your sheet, depending, or anyways, my sheet cannot be submitted until the last day of the timesheet period. So I cannot submit this timesheet and you will not be able to submit your timesheet until the last day of the pay period or the timesheet period. So you'll come back in on Monday and submit your timesheet. When the timesheet period has ended, you will have a box where you will electronically, it's like electronically sign your name and it will show your name in parentheses. So for this one, it would be like test member. And I would type test member in and then you would have the option to submit. But because it's not the end, I just have the option to click save. Oh, I'm going to go back and hit save later. Okay, and then it's going to take you back to your dashboard. If you have any questions when it comes to logging into your account and just like navigating through a timesheet, please reach out to Caitlin and I. We can either talk about it over the phone or through email. If we need to set up a one-on-one like video call, we can do that as well. The next thing that I'll briefly talk about is adding a new client and volunteer. So as you noticed, I clicked that and it brings up these 3 blue hyperlinks. We will have a separate training on performance measure reporting. And I just wanted to kind of show you and let you know how you will submit your performance measure reporting to us on a monthly basis through America Learns. Most of the time you'll be choosing this third option where it says add new or connect to existing clients and volunteers. When you click that, it's going to pull down the new housing services form for the year. I'm just going to click this so that you can see the options though. So if you are adding a new household, you're going to click that little bubble, and then it's going to show you how to make an identifier. This is as far as I'm going because it's not the main purpose of this video. We'll have a separate training, but I just wanted to kind of show you that this is also the website that you will upload your performance measure reporting forms to. Now I'm going to go back home, and it will probably log me out, and that's okay. It takes you back to the home page. You see our program calendar. If you have any questions or if anything comes up after you've watched this video and you're trying to submit your timesheet, please feel free to reach out to me and I will help you with whatever we need to figure out. So thank you so much.